Welcome to Popternative, where we dive into topical discussions from the worlds of pop culture, social media, and sports. Here is your host, Peter Remoliotis, aka PD Beats.
Hello and welcome to Popternative. This is the talk show and podcast where we have digital discussions, the worlds of TV, film, news, music, lifestyle, everything really depending on the guest. We talk about it all. As always, I'm your host, Peter Remoliotis. On social media, you know me as PD Beats. You will recently recognize my guest from a movie that's on Netflix that is really taking the world by storm. We're talking about A Week Away. Kat Connor Sterling is with us. Kat, welcome to Popternative.
Hi, thank you for having me.
I'm really excited to chat with you. I mean, how's it been on your end? I mean, it's just been, as soon as this has dropped, it's just been crazy. Like, there's no stop to this.
I mean, it's been absolutely crazy. It's so, my phone's blowing up. My mom yesterday was like, "You need to, turn off your phone for a second and just get some sun. Go for a walk." Because I've loved hearing from the fans and, hearing, that they love it. It's amazing.
And it came out on Friday, and
Right.
it's Monday. So it
Yeah.
hasn't even been a week.
No, it's just been, 3 days.
We're
Just
almost
3
a
days.
week away from it being a week.
Oh, yeah.
Which is amazing. This is a film where you have to wear many hats. There's the music, there's the dancing, there's the singing, and the acting. On paper, that can look kind of like a challenge because there's so much to do and there's so much incorporated. But what was it like for you, kind of juggling the many hats and doing all that on a project like this?
Right. Well, I came from a background of musical theater, and so, kind of the singing and the dancing, the acting, I was like, "Okay, yeah, I can do this." But when you add in, the acting for camera and the camera angles, that's when it gets super tricky,
Yes.
as well with, a movie musical, because things change constantly. Even the choreography, it's always changing, could change day of. So kind of juggling with the stamina of that and trying to remember things, that was a little tricky, and then, we didn't have, just a ton of time, to do it, to, rehearse it and stuff, so it was really just, I mean, like I said, keeping up that stamina, that was pretty challenging, but at the same time, so much fun, some of the best weeks of my life.
Absolutely. Um, it's interesting because the film becomes a little bit like a two-headed monster, so to speak, because people are watching the film, they're loving the film, and this happens, I think, naturally with musicals. Cat. I mean, people are loving the soundtrack. People are listening to the soundtrack on repeat and everything. Have you seen on social media the people talking about the film, but also the soundtrack? Because it's like
Oh,
it's
yeah.
two-headed monster. It's really interesting.
Oh, yeah, it's like people are, tagging me in, TikToks and stuff of them dancing to the music. I mean, my parents, we have it on, repeat throughout the house, it's constantly it's constant, I don't get sick of it, it's just it's a bop, it's good, and I've loved, seeing people's, clips and stuff of them, singing, different songs or dancing to it, that's been so cool because, it's cool to, be in a movie, but, being in a movie musical, you get to see both people enjoying the acting and the singing, so, it's just kind of this, I mean, like you said, this huge, two-headed monster, but a good monster.
It's crazy. It's interesting too because I feel like there's been kind of a resurgence of a lot of musicals. I think TikTok is like this. Like I'll go on TikTok and there's like High School Musical and The Greatest Showman. There's all these things. Have you noticed that at all as well? And I think maybe the timing of the movie, there is like a research, like a boom of like musical popularity lately.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I've seen it all over the place, and I was talking, with some of the cast, and, how crazy, when High School Musical was out, they didn't have TikTok and stuff, but, if it had been, it would've been some of the same stuff, so it's just kinda crazy to think about and, cool that, we're getting to see kind of in a new way people enjoying it through, different social media.
100%. The obvious answer to this question, Kat, is you hope people enjoy it. You hope people watch it with their family and friends. You hope that they recommend it. Diving deeper into it, what are you hoping they get out of watching A Week Away?
Well, I think overall, I think it's a movie about acceptance and learning to find your tribe of people and loving for who you are. I
Yep.
think personally for me, it's so cool that I get to play Presley because she's this quirky character that's maybe seen as kind of their nerdy girl, but sometimes, that's maybe seen as oh, they're kind of the loser characters, Presley and George, and they need to change and become cooler. That's not it in this movie. Presley and George are accepted 100% for who they are, and they're loved for it, and they have friends, and it's seen as like, hey, they're a little quirky, but that's cool. We love them. And I wish when I was younger, that I had that I had someone, some character to look to and be like, you know what? Like, I don't have to change. Like, I can be my quirky little girl self with all my unique ways, and that's cool. So I'm so excited to kind of take on this role for younger girls, for teens, tweens, and even adults need a reminder of that.
And to add on that a little bit, what was the preparation like for a role like this specifically? Like, what was that like, kind of playing Presley and kind of, prepping for that role, Kat?
Yeah, we did a lot of scene study
Yeah.
with our director Roman Way. We kind of dove into that and just kind of thinking, they were the producers and our director were so great with letting us kind of insert ourselves into it and what we wanted out of it, kind of helping us like even design like some of the costumes, putting some of ourselves into that as well. So I just kind of, I mean, I got to give it out to production as well with letting us kind of create that and prepare so that we could come out and be ready to have a better representation for everyone.
Absolutely. But one other thing we didn't kind of mention is, the music's phenomenal, the movie, but how it looks, like how it's filmed with the cinematography, like they knocked it out of the park as well. When you went back and kind of saw clips and watched the playback, were you kind of, because you sometimes you don't realize, right? Like you're going in
Right.
there, you're working and everything. What was your reaction like watching the playback of how this looked? Like it looks amazing.
Oh, I was blown away. Like
Yeah,
I still watch it and I'm like, that's beautiful. Like
yeah.
it really, like I saw it, like I saw a rough cut before like they do the coloring and like the editing and stuff. And even then I was like, wow, this is great. And then to see it like all touched up in its glory was like, wow. Like this, it's a really pretty, visually pretty film. And just I mean, I'm so grateful. I feel so proud to be a part of it.
It's interesting because as like media and publications, we're always like trailers and releases and news are always on the like always on our minds, right? We're always looking out for it and everything. And when the trailer for this came out, there was like a buzz instantly, like about like wow, there's like a curiosity and everything. I'm just curious because the reception's obviously different when it actually comes out. But were you getting a lot of like when people saw the trailer for this? What was that like the first couple of days when the trailer came out? Was there a lot of like hype and anticipation from all your family and friends? What was that like? Because trailer reveals are big too, right?
Trailer reveals are huge.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, this is my first, like, big movie, so this was my first trailer reveal, so I didn't know what to expect, and so, like, when it came out, like, I don't think I expected it to be such, like, a huge reaction. People loved it. It was an amazing trailer. Gotta give it up to that team, and Bailey Madison, my co-star who plays Avery, she was on that team who helped make the trailer, so props to her.
Amazing.
Um, yeah, but, I mean, we had such good feedback for it, and I was sending it to everyone I know, and it's just I mean, it's just so pretty, like, again, I'm so proud of it. I was proud of it then too, just for, like, the 2 minutes people got to see it, like,
And
it kinda shows, like, it's gonna be good.
and it's interesting too because that I feel like the art of a trailer is just so interesting. Like I would love to like well, I'm sure they exist because there's so much content out there, Kat. But like I want to see like a documentary about making a trailer because to me it blows my mind. Like you said, it's 2 minutes, right? So you have to kind of pick and choose what you kind of put in there because that's
Yeah.
like the taste they're getting, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's tough. It's a hard job.
Yeah. Now this you're in this film a week away, which is on Netflix.
Yeah.
So you are part of the Netflix family. How does it
Yes.
feel to be part of the Netflix family, Kat?
I mean, like, even you just saying that, I'm like, "Wait, is that real?" Like, like, are you for real? Like,
Yes,
I
I am for real. Yes.
like, oh my gosh, it's real. Like, it's a dream come true. Like, you dream of these things as an actor, like being a part of this, and you're watching shows and like one day I hope I'm in a show or a movie on Netflix, and then it happens, and you're like, I can't believe I'm part of such like a phenomenon of a company. Like it's taken the world by storm, these last several years. So just a dream come true.
It's pretty interesting too because when you watch this film, you know, there's a lot kind of going on right off the bat, a lot of relationships, a lot of, singing and dancing. But it's interesting because especially your character and Jabril Cook's character, there is growth quick in the characters. Like, I find it interesting. Like, you look at your character, like 15 minutes in the film, you know what I mean? There's some growth right away. You know what I mean? You see kind of this natural kind of growth. Have you ever thought about that at all? That's interesting. There's a lot of the characters are growing pretty quickly throughout the film as well and trying to find themselves as well, Kat.
Yeah, I think that's super cool, and I think it kinda goes back also to what I said earlier about, like, I love that we're the quirky characters, but we're seen in a major light and that, like, hey, they have an arc and they're cool and, like, and I think it's just such a great arc because I've had a lot of messages that have been like, I am just like Presley and I'm so shy and it's so hard for me to like feel like I am good enough. But like your movie, like it helped me see that like I'm enough. And like I've cried reading those messages, like because I've been there. Like we've all been there feeling that like we're not enough. So getting to play a role and having this arc of finding yourself and feeling good about it, like just incredible.
Absolutely. And last question before we wrap up, learning experiences, because you mentioned this is one of your first kind of big scale productions and everything, and you know you're on the show, this movie, and what were some learning experiences for you though on a project like this?
I think, it was probably walking into a project with 50-50 confidence and humility.
Yeah.
I walked in so scared, I was so intimidated, and I wouldn't speak up really because I was so nervous. But then I did learn to, kind of find myself and finding my confidence on set because everyone was, like, always building me up and was so sweet, but I realized I'm like, "Okay, I really gotta walk in next time, my next project, like, I got this." But at the same time, you gotta walk in with a level head and humility because no one wants to work with someone that thinks that they're just the best like thing that's ever lived, you know? So I think kind of important for my jobs to come to keep that in mind as I'm working.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Kat, thank you so much for coming on Popternative. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. I've had so much fun.
Absolutely. So week away, they can watch it now on Netflix. It's
Yes.
hasn't even been a week, and it's
Hasn't been a
great.
week. Stream the soundtrack. Stream it on Netflix where you guys are loving it so far and I love hearing from you guys. So it's been great.
Amazing. And where can people follow you on social media to keep up to date with everything?
You can follow me on my Instagram, Cat Connor Sterling, and my Twitter, Cat C Sterling, and my TikTok, Cat Connor Sterling.
You got to plug the TikTok. It's funny.
Gotta
I'm
plug
on
TikTok.
TikTok, but I'm not on TikTok. Do you know what that
I get
means?
I get that. Oh, I get it. I
Yeah,
get it.
like I
Yeah.
watch stuff all the time on TikTok,
Yeah.
but I won't
Yeah.
post.
Yeah. Yeah. I get it.
Thank you so much, and congrats for, so far with the success. And I hope it just gets bigger, bigger for all of you. It's awesome to see.
Thank you so much. It's been great.
No problem. Well, this has been Popternative, youtube.com/Popternative. For previous episodes, until next time, this is Cat Connor Sterling from A Week Away on Netflix and PD Beats signing off.
Thank you for tuning in to Popternative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Popternative on YouTube. Be sure to like Popternative on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
This has been an Autograph Communications production.